Welcome to a different type of show with like-minded individuals that don't always see eye to eye.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Don't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, man.
Free thinkers that stray away from the herd.
Drink that booze. Drink that booze.
Real topics, real discussions with real opinions.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
We might make you laugh, we might blow your mind. To some, this is groundbreaking. But to us, it's just another convo.
Hang on, we shouldn't be learning how not to get caught. We have to take responsibility for our actions.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy High Cee. You know what it is. It's Sunday. So I don't even have to explain what today is. Just another convo. I'm your boy High Cee. I am joined today with my boy, my partner in crime, Mr. Johnny Christ.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty damn good. Can't complain.
Heard had Funky Bones on Friday.
That was definitely if you missed it, like me, you're a square. I'm gonna call myself out. I'm gonna throw myself under the bus. I was tired, man. I've been out in the
Everybody was tired.
I've been out in the hot ass sun all week, man.
Oh yeah. No.
I was drained,
but it happens.
I am here today,
right?
And we got some pretty interesting things going on. Yesterday, I put a little meme on the STLR Media Facebook page. Hood debate, the great hood debate, box or bubble Chevy. Got like 40 comments on there. And let's just say, I would say about a good 95% chose the box Chevy.
Oh. I didn't get into all that when I was a younger youth. Like one of my really good friends, he had a Cutlass.
Ooh.
He was super big on that. And we got a memo.
Okay.
And yet, memos go unheeded. Yeah. When I was in high school at Venice High, one of the many places because I was a problem ute, my boy Jason Klinger, he is still huge into cars today. He lives up in Palaca. He had an 86 Buick it was a Cutlass, and then he had a Buick Regal. And he would put these 15-inch speakers in his trunk. He'd have the damn rims. He'd bust out his back window, because I think I was present for one of them. And we used to cut class all the time, and they would look at us just like we were the biggest pack of reprobates on the planet, because you had me and my juvenile sense of self, and then we had him, which was a short-haired ginger, and he still has his hair short to this very day. Like, I don't think he's changed his hairstyle one time since high school.
Sometimes you just find a hairstyle you like and you roll with it.
I used to get in so much trouble in high school. I remember I got suspended because I flicked off a campus security guard off campus.
It definitely sounds like something you would do.
Oh, my dad was mad. Oh, Papa Christ. There's nothing to play with. There was nothing to play with.
He was similar to Wu-Tang.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, he threw away my damn Chronic CD.
Oh, man, not the Chronic CD.
Yeah, because
That's blasphemy right there. You can't.
It is blasphemy.
CD. Shout out to Carter tuning in on Facebook Live.
I just didn't know any better. It was in the late 90s. It might have been 2000. And my first car was a Toyota short bed pickup truck.
Okay, I remember those.
And I took 6x9s because my uncle had a car stereo business at the time. He would go to the dealership. So it wasn't like an independent thing. He was contracted out to the car dealerships. And he gave me these 6x9s, and we put them in boxes, and we had them mounted underneath the bench of my truck because we had no back seat.
Okay, it was single cab, no little extended,
single
no
cab,
nothing.
so we had them pointed on up. I had a little pile driver amp.
pile driver.
Yeah,
Those are pawn shop specials now.
they are pawn shop specials, but boy, they did the trick.
They did. Listen,
And I bought that CD, and I bought the first Eminem CD. Was it the Slim Shady LP?
yep.
Bought both of those. Now, luckily, the Eminem one didn't get thrown out, but I had the Chronic in there. And my dad said he had to use my truck for something because he didn't want to waste the gas or whatever. Who knows? I come back. I told him I run to the store. And I'm like, hey, where the hell's my damn CD? He goes, I took that motherfucker. I threw that son of a bitch.
Damn.
I said, why would you do that? It's mine. He said, we ain't got time for that. I'm sitting running around here with a damn CD with a pot leaf on it. I'm like, God damn you, father.
It's called
Damn you.
Chronic.
Yeah.
Come on, pops. But no, hey, if you got a
Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
for real, if you got a decent set of 6x9s back in the day, some of them are built to have a little bit of like mild bass.
Right, but no, we had to go the full, like the full force. I raggeted that damn truck out.
And speaking of, I know we brought up the pile drivers and the pawn shop specials. That's how I know that they're pawn shop specials. Shout out to I guess my brother from a different mother, my boy Big Mike. I have seen homie create some whamming ass systems out of like some shit you'll be like, what the fuck?
We apologize to people who aren't able to see me. I don't want to break the camera. I broke the last one. But
Oh yeah, I forgot to. There we go.
you read the damn memo. But there was my boy in Sarasota. Some of you may know him. He's about our age. His name was Pinky. Like, he's dead now. God rest the boy's soul. But he had a truck. And the whole second cab of his truck, bam, solar barracks, freaking a whole wall full of goddamn freaking speakers. Oh, my neighbors were pissed.
Oh, I bet.
They were so mad. He's like, bro, like, this ain't shit. Because his parents owned the Alamanda Motel, the Rent-A-Minute Motel, because that's what we called it.
The Rent-A-Minute Motel. I love it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Your boy Johnny was kind of a heathen back in the day in high school. Skipped school a lot. Had my core group of friends. We would flip a coin to see which one of us was going to skip school and go to the other school to have lunch with them. So I would go to Sarasota High. After like leaving Venice, I would leave Venice for like half the day. And my Coach Dombrowski, great fucking educator. Amazing teacher. He was so patient with the young Johnny Christ. God bless him. We would get in trouble because for anybody who's been to Sarasota High, you've got the secondary parking lot, which is not in front of the big building, but the second one, which is attached to the other building. I would pull in there like I owned the son of a bitch. I would park. I'd
You
get
talking about the
out.
one over by the circus, the Seattle Circus building?
No, the other one. The one that I call the drama parking lot now. I know, and Elle made me think of this because Elle got lost parking there for the
Over the one on the across
on the side
street?
road. Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And so I would pull on in, I'd park, and in front of the drama building, that's where everybody ate lunch at. So I'd just walk on in like I own this son of a bitch and sit there and have lunch with my friends, and then we'd talk about doing like crazy shit.
See, when I was at Sarasota High, that's like that building had just got built, but then I ended up moving and got put in the Booker district. But like originally, that school wasn't even there my freshman year.
Oh, yeah.
Because I went there, shout out to Herb Haygood, former Sarasota High running back whose records actually got broke by someone we just lost in the community recently. Mike Ford broke some of Herb Haygood's records. And, shout out to Herb for definitely showing some love on that. The community came together for Mike Ford. And, shout out to all the
It's good to
friends and family.
see
Yes.
that. We need that right now. You've got a lot of division.
We do. And funny thing about Herb Haygood. So Herb Haygood was a couple grades above me. He knew some of the guys that I knew. I knew some of the guys on the football team and different things like that.
Now, did he go on to do something? Like, did he like go to like the NFL or something?
He did not. He was real humble. I think he actually had like a sickle cell situation. He does coach.
Oh, okay. All right.
But his after college, he didn't go to the NFL.
Right.
But when he graduated, he was recruited and he signed with Michigan State.
Oh, very nice.
And him and actually a couple people from the area, a couple Riverview guys, Amp Campbell, and I can't remember who else it was off the top of my head right now. I'm drawing a blank. Wish I had Statty Chatty. But anyways, they all went to Michigan State. Well, that year that he played for, or one of the years that he played for Michigan State, they made a bowl game, and my cousin was like, I think, a freshman at UCF.
Right.
So you know how it is in the college atmosphere. You know, we're out there, we're hanging out with people from all different, you know,
I love the college atmosphere.
all over the country. So we're at one of his homeboy Rob's house, and there's a group of us, and we're watching the bowl game that Michigan State's in. Now the guys that we're chilling with, they're not vested in any team that's playing on the thing, but we're watching the bowl game,
right?
Because Herb and Cedric Henry from Booker, that's who else was on the team.
You say these people like I know who they are.
You may not know who they are, but people know who they are. But actually, Amp Campbell just got the head coaching job over at Sarasota High, so shout out to him. But it's a group of us. We're all over there grubbing out on food, chiefing down, and we're rooting for Michigan State. And they're rooting for Michigan State because simply the fact that we went to school with these guys and they're from our hometown, and we're just rooting for them. So like we're just over there like 10 deep rooting for Michigan State, rooting for Herb Hagen and everything. That was actually a fun day.
I've seen how you get down during parties. Shout out to the Super Bowl. But like it is kind of cool when you think about our humble little town that's quite not so little anymore. No. And just how many star athletes have come out of here, how many potentials. You've had just about everybody.
I mean,
I would be very interested to see who's produced more athletes, baseball or football, because when you look at the alumni of something like Sarasota High, like 90% of their alumni that have become athletes have been turned out to be baseball stars.
Shout out to Clyde Metcalf, who's no longer there, but
right. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I would do, and we would get in trouble for all sorts of stuff. Like I got in trouble. I almost got arrested because my best friend and I, we went skateboarding at ODA after hours, and he went to ODA, and I went to whatever school.
And this was like Siesta Key ODA.
Yeah.
What the hell were y'all thinking?
Oh, yeah. Like, we got in trouble for skateboarding there. We almost got arrested because we broke into Southside Elementary and sat up on the roof. That we were hooligans. We were heathens. And we had found out a way to get into Southside because in the side you had the two push doors with the push lever, and then on the gate when you walk in to the immediate left was one of the old rod rail gates. So we just took a big ass freaking stick and fed it through, pushed it open, and then they grabbed it.
That
we were
Southside used to have that big wooden playground back in the day.
Yes,
that was actually dope.
I was there when they put that in. It goes to show how old I was. That was. I'm trying to remember which one came first. I want to say it was Basics Plus. Bayhaven. Bayhaven was Southside.
Booker Bayhaven.
Yeah, because it was the same design, same exact design.
Yep.
Same architect, same thing. I don't know who came first, the chicken or the egg, but it's kind of cool. And we're talking about this for those of you who don't know, because I'm segueing into we lost another Sarasota staple this past week.
Yes, we did.
In Hobnob, which is a restaurant that's been around since the 60s. Unbelievable. Like, my kid she's really worried that Bob's Train's going to be next.
Bob's Train.
Oh, you motherfucker. Oh, you don't know what Bob's Train is?
Is that that thing that's behind, like, where the Wawa
It's a train.
Where the Wawa is on Fruitville?
Yes.
I didn't know that was even still open.
Yes, and it's a phenomenal restaurant. If you are a circus enthusiast, as my family is,
I've seen it before. I've seen that. I've literally thought it was abandoned.
It's amazing. It's a great place to eat. Like, I will go there any chance that I get.
I can't believe Hobnob that one hit. But also, and I did see a lot of people saying this on social media as well. And this is probably due to just like inflation and different things. The food quality wasn't what it once was.
They're also looking at it through rose-colored glasses, because what what it tasted like when you were a kid or in high school is obviously going to be different than when you're an adult.
And that's every establishment. That's not even just them.
And you have different values and different wants.
But in the words of 3-6 Mafia, hob on my knob like corn on the cob.
What is with you? Who says that? Well, you are nasty.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. I wish I had the money to buy that spot.
Smoking Mama Laura said the same thing. She's like, I would have loved to have had that spot.
I would love to be able to get that spot.
Oh, absolutely.
You could do so much stuff there, and it's so perfect. You get so much business there for lunch. I mean, you could definitely make some things happen there. Now, whether or not, I don't know if they own the building or it didn't seem like it from the article I read that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure maybe the rent prices just got too expensive or whatever. But I do believe they own the car wash building, though, right?
I believe so.
But yeah,
I mean, that's a prime piece of property.
It is. And it just sucks to see a place like that. I've had many of Hobnob burgers from there. Chicken cordon bleu sandwiches.
Chicken cordon bleu.
Yeah, they have them specials. They be having the specials
that shit
sometimes.
takes me back in the day when Bennigan's was open. When they had a Bennigan's across from Sailor Circus and you used to run around there and get the Monte Cristo.
I used to love the Monte Cristo from there.
They actually have Ford's Garage has a Monte Cristo. I have yet to try it. I'm very skeptical. I don't want to tarnish the legacy that's inside of my head of the Bennigan's Monte Cristo because, man, that thing was fire. Or at least at the time, I believed it was fire. I didn't care anything different.
Oh, no, it was definitely fire. I can agree with you on that one. And I must have the worst timing in Sarasota when it comes to Ford's Garage because every freaking time.
Good honesty.
I pull up to that bitch. It's like 45 minutes to an hour or hour and a half. Like some crazy wait time. I'm like, it's for a burger. Who wants to wait that much for a burger?
If you want it, you'll wait.
Man, I don't believe their burgers is that good to be waiting for no 45 minutes. If
Well,
I wait
and you
45
could be
minutes,
onto something.
listen, if I eat a burger that I had to wait
Right.
over an hour for because there's 45 minutes to sit in, get in.
Yep.
Then you got to get your drinks and all that stuff. You got to scan the menu, decide what you want. So you're talking about at least an hour.
Yep.
Bro, if I bite into that burger, I better feel like Elton John is behind me with his piano singing Benny and the Jets live in my ear.
Benny and the Jets?
Benny!
Like, that's what you're going for?
Benny and the Jets. Like, Michael Jackson better come back from the dead, and I better get to see the real zombie version of him doing Thriller if I'm waiting an hour for a burger.
If you want that real version of the zombie, all you got to do is, quote unquote, from Michael Jackson, look at the man in the mirror.
Carter says the bison burger from there is fire.
Well, and that could be. I don't know if I decide to try it and venture outside of my norm routine. I will have to let you know. And it's weird because with Hobnob that closed on Wednesday. The Saturday before that, they did El Adobe night, which anybody who lived in Sarasota knows what El Adobe is. But I got the recipe for the fried ice cream. I'm the happiest boy on the planet.
Jealous.
I'll give you the recipe.
All right.
I don't know how it'll work. I have yet to try it. I've been so damn busy being a star in my own mind that I haven't had time to really sit down and do anything in the kitchen.
So you have to pre-make everything and refreeze it.
Correct.
And then once you're ready.
But you don't know the levels in which that they went to. I was like, wow.
I wish you could have got that salsa recipe.
I know the guy who's got the salsa recipe, Gustavo. Gustavo owns, he was one of the managers at El Adobe. He has a cleaning crew now, and they go to Serban, which I'm affiliated with Serban, and they do it there, and so it's a big chain, but let's just say I can get my hands on it.
If you can give me some of that salsa, bro, I would love it. I would be at the store with grabbing some scoops off the aisle with the quickness.
It tasted very different when I went on Saturday because, of course, I called up Mom and said, Mom, let's go. My mother and I and my whole family on both sides, on my mom and my dad's side, we spent hours and days upon days at El Adobe. We would rent out like the whole back room because there were that many of us. A bunch of pissed off Italians, loud as shit.
That's where I fell in love with enchiladas. That was my first enchilada experience, probably, that I can remember.
I mean, that's where I fell in love with margaritas.
I'm sure a lot of people can attest to that.
Which I won't get a margarita anywhere else.
Oh,
Like,
damn.
it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. I was like, nope, not the same.
You just
They done set the precedent.
You just take a little sip and just like, what is this rubbish?
Be gone with it. 2 2s. Yeah. I wish these local businesses wouldn't be forced to close.
Yeah, this sucks, man.
I don't want to live in a fucking town. Sorry, pardon my French, but I don't want to live in a town that's overran by corporation.
No.
I just don't. It's already bad enough that you pay twice as much to live in Sarasota as you do any of the surrounding areas. And we're seeing things in real time. I could not imagine, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I could not imagine living today in 2024 with the pricing would obviously be adjusted, but things like mortgage rate where it was double digits in the 80s, I couldn't imagine that in today's standard. No way. We would all be done for.
Carter brought up another one, Mel's Diner.
I think that's still open.
They not here, but they do have some around though, Carter. You can get to a Mel's Diner.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
We used to have one over on B Ridge, in front, like in the Crunch parking lot area.
Yeah, I know that. What's the restaurant that's on University in Lockwood? It's a Mel's. Is it Mel's Diner? Mel's Drive-Thru?
There's no Mel's.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
There's Peaches.
No.
There's Honey.
It's directly across from Demetrio's. I think that's a Mel's. I'm fairly sure that's a Mel's.
No, you're talking.
I'm
about,
not talking about Friendly.
You're talking about the diner. I know what you're talking about, but it's not. I forgot the name of that damn diner. No, that's not Mel's.
What is it? Melly with like an I at the end? Like what?
There is a Millie's, but but that place there, I forgot the name of it. Who knows the breakfast spot on University?
Yeah, somebody Google that and comment it below, please. Thank you. So anyway, I don't know how we
Metro.
derailed. Metro. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Carter. Of course, the fat kid knows.
Yeah, that's a pretty good place too. It's pretty good. But such is the time. Time evolves. We all evolve. We all go on to other things. It's wild.
Matter of fact, you know what? In lieu,
What, are you going to go to Metro's Diner?
No. In lieu of what you have just spoken, I'm gonna make it a point this week to go by and say what's up to my boy Willie Yums and go get me some hot dogs up there in Bradenton.
Oh, okay.
And he was another person who commented about the whole hobnob situation, and kind of like Mama Laura was just like, man, I would love to open up over there.
I mean, shout out to people at Willie Yums. They're huge into the motorcycle community. If you're
They are.
big into that world, they went all out, and they were very nice when my cousin had passed on a motorcycle a couple of years ago because some idiot on Cortez wasn't paying attention when they were pulling out of the trailer park. Took him out.
I remember that.
We're seeing life evolve in real time. We are in a world where everybody feels they're right. Nobody wants to learn. Everybody's more upset about a Catholic speech than they are about a celebrity touching, beating the hell out of some woman. That's where we're at in the world.
Candace Owens, and sometimes I want to say Candace Parker because the WNBA player, but Candace Owens, I think she hit the nail on the head though, man. When she's been coming out and she's been really advocating over the Diddy situation, and bro, it's kind of like I feel like it's along the lines of the Epstein and the Harvey Weinsteins and all.
We
the
haven't even
Steins.
touched the surface of this. I think it's so deeper than any of us.
Well, that's the thing is like. We've obviously heard about Epstein.
Sure.
We've obviously heard about Weinstein.
Yep. It was be $40.
And the amount of time that has passed since any of that stuff has come out, me and you would already be sentenced.
Right. Well,
nothing has happened, and it's just like you said. There's so much protection.
Well, that goes without saying.
Of the quote unquote elitists, if you will, of the skulls of the world. You know, if you've ever seen that
Right.
movie.
Skulls.
But
Bones.
but just like, you know, there's so much protection of the Voldemorts, the he who shall not be named, that I think if you start peeling back layers of the Diddy situation,
Why you gotta throw shade on Voldemort like that?
listen, there is
Justified.
innuendo in movies and stuff that I think sometimes people don't even comprehend.
Do you think it's their way of trying to get word out without intentionally getting the word out?
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Like if you're smart enough to understand the cipher, you've got it.
Just like in the kids movies, right? With the kids movies, like, you know, the cartoon, the animated ones. There's stuff in there that the kids are gonna laugh their ass off in there, but every once in a while there's that little jab that's the adult humor that the kids will laugh at. They don't even know what they're laughing at, but it's where it kind of has like a double meaning, where it's kind of funny to the kids because it's just like, you know, the minion saying something or, you know, whatever. But you're laughing on a different level because it was more of the adult humor. There's things in the movies where they like Voldemort, and to me, if you watch the Harry Potter thing, it's basically good versus evil. You got the Voldemort situation. It's like the he who shall not be named. It's just like
The Village.
It's
What a
like
great
they're,
movie.
it's almost like they're talking about like the naughty, if you will. And I ain't talking about naughty lights. But
Naughty Lights.
I think there is definitely stuff that's put into movies, even with like the alien stuff. You know, they put all that stuff in there. And
They've confirmed that shit though.
Yeah, they've
bunch.
but even before, like, you know, your Independence Day, your Men in Blacks, all that stuff, I feel like they put it out there in a way to where if it does happen, it's not so culture shock to us. Like, oh my God.
If aliens come, I hope I'm stuck with Vivica A. Fox.
If aliens come, I hope I get Gamora.
Well, you're talking about a different movie.
I am talking about a different movie.
But, I mean, Vivica A. Fox still looks good today.
You were talking about Independence Day, and she's an actual person. I'm talking about an alien because I would smash Gamora.
So you got a thing for the green folk.
I mean,
That's cool. I mean, no judgments.
I got a
Just
thing
saying.
for Zoe Saldana, and she makes a pretty alien.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
High Cee's random question.
Random thought of the day.
Would you smash a fine alien?
Huh? What the fuck
Would
does
you
it matter?
perform coitus with a fine alien?
You're on drugs.
I'm just saying.
I mean, clearly, but where do you come up with this? Like, does your mind, do you just sit around and think of these
No, it just
oddball questions?
It just came up right now because I was thinking, because I would smash Gamora.
Good God. In a world of AI,
Not so
where
much
you-
her bald-headed sister.
Stop the real sister.
I would be the Star Lord. I'm just saying.
Wow. Fair enough, I suppose. You know, with AI, you could pretty much make a girlfriend that looks like Gamora.
You probably could.
No, you can. Like that. There's no probably. I mean, you can do it.
I'm sure.
Like I'm working on my Rhea Ripley.
If you have
lookalike.
if you have the right makeup artist, you can have sex with any female.
Alien
Probably.
or bear, shut up. Jesus.
Ain't nobody trying to smash no bear, bro. Unless she has sex with me, which is kind of like having sex with a bear. I'm hairy enough.
Although it's funny because a buddy of mine posted on social media this week that I thought was actually extremely clever. The reverse of the man or bear situation. It says, "Who would you rather share your feelings with, a tree or a woman?"
Oh, tree. A tree.
I'm like, good God.
You know what? Now I'm starting to wonder something. I got another random question.
Here we go.
Is it possible that women that have had sex with me have a Winnie the Pooh fetish?
I mean, I don't necessarily know that that's a good question. I
Oh,
mean, a better
bother.
question might be how many women have you been with that have had a real orgasm as opposed to fake one?
None. No, I don't know.
I mean, I can't even be mad at this stage in the game. If you have faked it with me, good for you. But if I got mine and you faked yours, sounds like one of us got to come up. Now, I'm not saying it's me, but I know it's not you.
But if they've been repeat, I mean, you must be doing something right, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
As that will forever be my stance on that. You cannot talk crap or smack about somebody you slept with if you've done it more than once.
Okay.
Even if especially if it's a hookup. If you're in a relationship, fine, I get it. Okay, we all do things we don't like to do. Fine. But if you're going to hook up with someone and you've done it more than once, you reserve the right to no longer talk shit.
All right, perfect. I like it.
Just me, though. What do I know? I'm only right.
Some of the times. My boy said, who would you rather open up your feelings to, a tree or a woman?
Yeah, shout out
Can
to
we
my
make-
boy, Jose Perez.
Can you make a little meme for that we could post up on the
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I kind of want to put that up on the page now.
Yeah, right. It's a very unique year we're having. Not as many celebrity deaths, it seems.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, like last year was pretty brutal.
Oh, I got
Last year
actual-
was really brutal.
I got real wood right here.
But we do have a lot of businesses closing. A lot of people have got a real axe to grind when it comes to either men or women. There's a real axe to grind because they get screwed over in the world.
So you kind of had an axe to grind earlier this week when we were talking about music.
I did.
This or that.
I did because it was very interesting and it sent me down a rabbit hole. And I didn't get to watch my damn documentary yesterday because of nonsense that happened over AA batteries. But that's a tale for another time. I scrolled through YouTube because I like to do that from time to time when I have time. And somebody said, who was better? They didn't preface it. They didn't say better musician, better performer. They just said, who are you taking in a choice between Michael Jackson and Prince? And this was a collage of different podcasts. And they asked this question, and people like Chris Brown replied, and a few other celebrities, Joe Buttons and all of those, if you know who those are. I barely knew who they are. And then he prefaced it with, it sounds easy on the surface. It sounds like a no-brainer. But then you're a fan of music, and you dive into it a little more, and it's not as complicated as you believe.
Well, here's my thing.
Or it's not as simple as
Because I want to know what they thought the easy answer was out of Prince or MJ.
Michael Jackson.
They thought MJ was
Correct.
See, honestly, I think that more people would probably be in tune to Prince just because of everything he's done. The fact that he actually does play musical instruments, which Michael Jackson does not.
Right.
Now, when it comes to the dance moves, Michael Jackson is the reason why there's the Ushers of the world, why there's the Chris Browns of the world.
Correct.
Why back in the 80s and 90s, you can actually dance in the club and not, quote unquote, I guess, ruin your rep. Because it was some gangsters back in the day popping and locking and doing all that stuff. And
that's the
and,
backbeat
and dancing and having a good time.
The nucleus.
But you knew, hey, big homie may be over there looking like a big ass robot, but you fuck with him and his people, your ass gonna get shot up. Now everybody gotta act like they all like wallflowers. They're all up in that bitch looking like, are you here to party or are you part like undercover security? Because you just up against the wall looking all mad, arms all crossed, looking like someone that said your mama breath stank or some shit. It's like, bro, you do realize you can do a little lean with it, rock with it, and have a good time, and you can still be tough.
I feel like you're telling an actual story about your life.
Nah, man.
Where you be out there doing security and people are like, man, why are you so grumpy?
Nah,
Why you grump, bro?
I feel like if you're doing security, you gotta be like you can't be all like, hey, what's up? Like,
right.
You gotta look a little intimidating. But nah,
I think why they said it seems simple on the surface because clearly Michael Jackson had more success. He was surrounded by juggernauts in the industry, Quincy Jones, and before that, Berry Gordy tutored him. So I understand that. To the musicians who can play instruments, who appreciate things like the guitar and keyboard and drums and
weren't they
things of
both
that
on
nature.
Motown?
No, Prince was not part of Motown.
Okay.
Not. People appreciate Prince more because he could do that.
And Carter's chiming in, he
wrote.
says Prince. But me personally,
I would love to understand why Carter, of all people, is trying to hop on the technical bandwagon.
to me personally, I would have to say MJ just because, and I'm not saying that Prince didn't have impact, and I'm not saying Prince didn't have, hits because we know he did. I mean, for I mean,
Wildcat.
Purple Rain was epic. You got When Doves Cry,
I
Little
don't think
Red,
people give Purple Rain its proper credit.
Raspberry Beret, Little Red Corvette. Like, I mean, he had Diamonds and Pearls for like one of the more recent hits. Like, I mean, your boy had some bangers. But man, I just think
Kudos to you.
I think the culture, the game changing culture that MJ did, kind of that crossover, getting the sponsorships from like Pepsi and stuff, which was really cool from that little documentary you told me to watch, where he was just like
his head,
where he was just like, look, I'm doing the commercial. I don't really even fuck with Pepsi, but we taking this money to get this Thriller money. And you can't show me number like 5 seconds or something crazy. Like, and he didn't even have the can in his hand. He was just in that bitch. Like, it was in his contract. Like, I'm not holding no fucking Pepsi can. I'm not doing none of that shit. And I'm literally walking in this bitch for like 5 seconds, and that's it. And my boy got like that. He got the money he needed to do the actual Thriller movie, which was dope as hell. But like, just like the moves, and when you really look at Michael Jackson's career, you have to include the Jackson 5. You have to include the Jackson 5. And although Prince does have a badass catalog, you're talking about One More Chance, ABC, like all those classics that the Jackson 5 have been a part of. And you take Michael Jackson away from the Jackson 5, they ain't shit.
Tito. It's just Tito.
Yeah, they ain't really shit, just to be honest with you. He made that, like, Michael Jackson is the reason why his sister, I think, had such a great career. And I'm not taking anything away from Janet, because Janet was a beast on her own.
You leave Penny alone.
And we could put Janet up against some of the big times in the music game. And Janet might be that bitch, just to be honest with you. I mean, Janet was one of my crushes back in the day. I used to love me some Janet Jackson, some Rhythm Nation, If I Was Your Girl or whatever, Anytime, Any Place.
Yeah, Rhythm Nation is a juggernaut of an album.
Dun, 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 like I love the freaking
that was
the little
not
dance,
Rhythm
the
Nation.
little. Oh no, that wasn't the Rhythm
That was
Nation.
Scream.
Yes, but they had so many different. Like, she had so many different.
It's very wild when you start looking at it from all of the elements. Of course, you got to throw in Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. The fact that he did what he did at such a young age. Of course, that's going to play a part. He came into his own. His first album didn't do as well, Off the Wall. It was okay. And then when Thriller hit, it was a different level. It took it to a different stratosphere. Like, musically, though, for all of those hats, or for all the hits that Prince had, and the fact that you brought up Diamonds and Pearls, was like, you have to actually know Prince to understand what, like, Diamonds and Pearls are. 7 is, Could You Be? Those are all B-side hits.
The most beautiful
Right.
girl in the world. Hey, well, y'all
and
ain't
the
know
fact that Prince is the only man. Prince gets my respect for one song. Man had enough balls to do a song called Pussy Control.
You know why Prince gets props from me?
Because it damn sure ain't his religious preference. Motherfucker going on every damn news award music show giving praise to Jehovah God. Like, wow.
Prince and probably Dennis Rodman are the only dudes that I know, and I hope I don't offend the alphabet community.
Oh, Lord.
That can dress as questionable as they did, looking like some feminine dudes.
Feminazis.
And pull some of the baddest bitches you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's so unique when you look at it just from a different perspective. Because, of course, like, Prince didn't really dress like a chick like Rodman did, but when you watch old
Rodman
80s
dressed more like a chick, but Prince dressed very...
He dressed questionably.
For a better choice of words than what I really want to say, he dressed exuberant.
Well, he basically took something that Elton John had already established in the 70s and went overboard with it.
But Elton John is openly gay. Prince
had a whole lot of...
Prince
had a whole lot of ass. Sheena E is a prime example. There wouldn't be no damn Sheena E without Prince.
Prince dressed, and you looked at Prince like, damn, dude probably gay as hell. But he was straight and pulled some baddies. I mean, and he may have been bi. Who knows? I don't really know Prince that. But
no, you can't be bi and be a Jehovah's Witness. She'll be ousted.
But allegedly, from my boy Charlie Murphy, the motherfucker makes some mean pancakes.
I don't think you just smash on the random either if you're a Jehovah's Witness.
If Prince did,
you can't. He'd been outcasted out of the damn society.
No, my boy paying that 10% in tithes. He Gucci. Gucci.
That's how it starts. Next thing you know, you're going to have a Clearwater situation where Scientology owns the damn city.
My boy Prince was like 5'5.5".
Right.
Pulling baddies. Had the little perm looking thing going or whatever the hell that little hairstyle was. Probably playing guitar butt ass naked for these bitches and just smashing.
So it was interesting because it caused me to go down a wormhole, black hole, whatever you want to call it, and to see what other mix and matchups you could put out there that would have, if not a wow, that would be interesting. Or you get situations like MJ and Prince where it seems simple on the surface until you dive into it.
Well, we got some good answers coming in. My boy Perry, Coach Perry says MJ is the king. Shout out to my boy Scoot. He's saying what's up to me and you. Jennifer's chiming in on the Facebook Live. She says Michael didn't seem like he enjoyed making music. He seemed like a musical robot. I don't know about that, man.
That's a very interesting take, and you may be onto something. The question,
until you hear people talk about Michael Jackson in the studio, like the Lionel Richie thing, where it's like talking about the one night in the biggest night in pop or whatever.
Right. When you watch things like the 40th anniversary of Thriller, that was the most recent documentary that came out. I think what Jennifer's saying may be true in a later sense, like when he hit the late 90s, early 2000s, when Invincible came out. Yeah, he may have gotten to that point. But I think when it was in the 80s, I think he had something to prove. And he wanted to establish himself as something more than Little Michael. Because that's what everybody knew him. Everybody knew him as Little Michael.
He did.
And when he came out, him and Prince had this underlying professional
beef almost.
Yeah, but it wasn't like beef that everybody sees today. It was I'm going to outdo you. I'm going to participate. I'm going to get more awards. I'm going to get the accolades.
Could you
more.
imagine though if there was like a musical beef between Prince and MJ, like where they're like literally making diss tracks about each other?
Jesus.
Hey, Prince would have dropped a track called "Fuck Bubbles."
Jesus.
Hey.
And that caused me to go down a deeper rabbit hole. And there was a documentary that was released on Friday that I have yet to watch from the Beach Boys.
Oh man.
It's on Disney Plus, and I'm not a Disney Plus.
There's
supporter.
a Beatles one too that
was the big.
I have not watched it. I'm gonna watch it.
That was the big back and forth. Is they were saying you had the Beatles, and then you had the Beach Boys, and they were kind of going back and forth because you had the Beatles that were really influential at the time and had a lot of going on,
which is weird because they're.
And then you had the Beach Boys.
Different styles of music though.
That's what my mother said because I brought it up to her because she's a huge old head when it comes to music. Like, she likes the Beatles. She likes the Monkees. She loved ABBA. She liked the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys were like, quote unquote, surf pop. And when the 70s hit, or the late 60s, early 70s, and drugs started becoming more prevalent, that's when we got the real kick-ass masterpieces. That's when we got freaking Abbey Road later on, and then in 68 we got Pet Shops. Pet Shops is quite arguably one of the greatest albums ever written.
Is that the one with everybody surfing USA or whatever?
Negative. That Pet Shops had Slooch on B. It had Good Vibrations.
Okay.
And there was a lot of musical experimentation that was going on. And that led the way for people like Pink Floyd to do The Dark Side of the Moon, and then later The Wall, because they were experimenting with sounds. It was so cool. Like, I'm super big into music like that. And when you look at somebody like Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, who's quite arguably one of the greatest singer-songwriters ever, and to see his mental decline and he dealt with schizophrenia and split personality disorder.
So-
and he did LSD chronically. It was fucking wild.
As a music fan and somebody who's grown up on this music because my mom was a huge Beach Boys fan, so I've heard like she'll have fun till her daddy takes her T-Bird away.
Yeah, that was
Surfing
part of
USA.
the surf music. Yeah,
all that stuff. And my dad's huge into classic rock, so I definitely heard my fair share of the Beatles and your John Lennon and all that kind of stuff. I think the impact worldwide that the Beatles had
Oh, you see, now you would have to go worldwide to really compare.
trumps what the Beach Boys did. And
It depends, because it's like when the Beatles first came out, they had Love Me Do. They had I Want to Hold Your Hand, We Can Work It Out, Help, things like that. These were instant hits.
that was the Beach Boys?
No, that was the Beatles.
Oh, the Beatles.
And then when the Beach Boys came out, when they had Surfing USA, 409, Fun, 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 those were going at each other like whenever one...
Kokomo.
Kokomo was an 80s thing. That was actually after Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson
Really?
had gotten committed.
Aruba, Jamaica.
Because
Ooh.
Brian Wilson and his brother Dennis Wilson, because they were brothers in the band, Dennis Wilson and them were doing so much freaking acid, LSD, and cocaine.
And you didn't share. Thanks a lot, guys.
It ultimately killed Dennis Wilson.
They had the good shit back then, boy.
Right. And Brian Wilson blew up to like 300 pounds.
Damn.
And he got committed, like for schizophrenia and all of that, on top of all the drugs he was doing. They had to have a psychiatrist go and live with him. And this guy was a freaking prick. This guy was the equivalency of what Elvis had to deal with his manager.
Damn.
Like, nobody was allowed to go and see this guy. Nothing.
Damn, Daniel.
It got so damn bad that he got away. And then something to the extent, because Carney Wilson, his daughter, who's in Wilson Phillips, had made mention that she had to fight to see her dad.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, I'm like, wow.
So who's your MJ Prince pick?
Cultural wise, you got to go MJ. Musically wise, you got to go Prince. Like Prince's solo in Purple Rain alone is one of the most imitated solos in music.
What wasn't he responsible for Morris Day in the Time too?
Who?
Prince.
Where's the types?
Yeah. Jungle Love, baby.
Jungle.
Maybe. Weren't they in the Purple Rain movie?
Yes.
See? I do remember a few things.
Jungle. I'm like, where are you coming up with this one at? That's a way left field. What are you going to bring up next? Debbie Dab? Jesus.
I know that. Swifty J's, Smoke Machines, and so I'm taking MJ on this one over Prince just all the way around because I'm a bigger MJ fan. Not taking anything away from Prince because I do fuck with Prince. On the Beatles and Beach Boys, I definitely got to go Beatles. But another one I could throw out there, what about Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin?
Zeppelin.
You're taking Zeppelin over the Pink Floyd, huh?
Absolutely. Robert Plant is one of the most imitated frontmen of his time and still to this very day. There is not another guitar player we have seen since Eddie Van Halen who was as good as Jimmy Page.
Pink Floyd, though.
Pink Floyd was great. There's nothing against like the original lead singer was Syd Barrett. When he passed away,
hello.
and the success that Pink
there?
Floyd had in Wish You Were Here to Dark Side of the Moon to obviously The Wall, they had a lot of problems. The Wall was their last
You can definitely tell.
collective album.
You could tell they were definitely heroin influenced drug on their albums.
They were like, I'll have to send you some of Pink Floyd's old stuff when Syd Barrett was their lead singer. People of the Sun is different than anything you've ever heard from Pink Floyd moving forward. If you hadn't watched a Pink Floyd documentary, you wouldn't even know this exists. It was so wild. Like,
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I guess apparent. I don't know. If Full House had
they did.
the Full House had was that the
Full House had an episode with the Beach Boys where John Stamos played bongos, played guitar, And now, rumor has it that John Stamos has now joined the Beach Boys and he's going on tour with them.
Really?
Correct.
But I thought they were already big before that, though.
Correct. But you got to remember, this is the late 80s, early 90s. The Beach Boys hadn't had a hit since Kokomo, which was in the early 80s. So this allowed the Beach Boys to be reintroduced to a different group of people.
Damn! Shout out to Jen for tuning in.
Absolutely,
and, commenting that
it was very good because they had just about everybody. They didn't have Brian Wilson on that one, but they had Mike Love, Al Jardine.
Wow.
Yes,
that's pretty cool. Jesse and the Rippers.
That's it. Jesse and the Rippers.
My boy John Stamos, the Greek boy.
It's amazing how many actors can play guitar. Like, I didn't know Johnny Depp could play, and he's in Vampire Weekend.
And your boy, and Fat Boy's coming in, he says Beach Boys.
Yeah, Beach Boys are.
He says Beach Boys over Beatles. And Carter's chiming in saying Zeppelin all day.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I love
Zeppelin.
I love Pink Floyd. Again, The Wall is one of the top 5 selling albums of all time.
You did like Stairway to Heaven. Shut up.
No, like you have. I think the top 5 albums sold of all time is Rumors from Fleetwood Mac, Pet Shop, Beach Boys.
Is Rumors the one that has the players only love you when they're playing on it?
Yes.
I love that album.
Thriller. The Wall. Pet Shop. I want to say Taylor Swift is now a part of that.
Tay got some big selling albums.
Back in Black is one.
AC/DC.
Yep.
That's one with Highway to Hell, right?
I know Taylor's got the record for the highest gate revenue for a concert.
Is Back to Black? Is that the one that has Highway to Hell on it and all that?
No. Back in Black was Brian Johnson's first album with AC/DC after the death of Bon Scott. Okay. Bon Scott was our original lead singer. Bon Scott did Highway to Hell. He had big balls. I've got big balls.
He's got big balls.
Right, yeah.
Who's got the biggest balls of them all? The first time I heard that song as a kid, dude, I don't know why, but I was dying laughing. Like, are they really playing this?
I definitely want to correct myself. Sid Barrett, Bon Scott did not do Highway to Hell. That was Brian Johnson. It took me a second. Yeah, but Brian Johnson had a lot of hits, too. Like, he did Shoot to Thrill and Hell's Bells. For those about to rock, we salute you. Of course, his most infamous one is Shook Me All Night Long.
My boy Perry said the only 2 kings are MJ and Elvis. Ooh.
You're going to catch so much crap from the black community for saying that, Perry. Damn it. I get it. Elvis was so...
They do not like Elvis, boy.
It really depends on who you talk to, because they call him a straight-up thief, but yet he's given credit to every one of his musical writers. So it's like, yeah, you can hate him, but do we really want to go down the road of how many artists are successful who never wrote a fucking song? Elton John. There you go, mic drop. Because he was part of a team.
Shall I say it?
Who?
Beyonce.
Beyonce's a freaking joke because the music writing industry is so much different. And she had like 7 people write this shit. Like Neo's written a bunch of shit for her.
But that's what I'm saying, though. You can't sit there and criticize Elvis and sit there and glorify Beyonce.
It's weird because I understand the gripe and the complaint.
I do too, but I'm just saying, if you're going to call a spade, call it across the board. Because I'll tell you like this too. Probably 60 to 70% of your country artists don't write their own songs.
Well, that's definitely more prevalent now than it ever has been, but yes.
Hell, Luke Combs, who's just now getting his flowers, wrote a lot of songs for people. Chris Stapleton has written a lot of songs for people.
So interesting you bring that up, because one of the Yahoos from last night said that Luke Combs is our generation, meaning like the Alpha generation, the Z generation's George Strait. And I'm like, based on what exactly? Like, I said that you can't really have a modern day like George Strait or Garth Brooks or anything like that, because I can play Check Yes or No in just about any venue. and people will know it. I can only play selective Luke Combs songs where the majority will know it.
To be honest with you, and this is
Now maybe Luke Combs will get there.
listen, what's been surprising to me lately, the amount of, just like on social media, whether it's like, people's stories, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever it is, I have been surprised a lot lately because, growing up in the 80s and 90s, a lot of black people didn't fuck with country at all. And I see people on their stories jamming to like, different country songs, although it is like Luke Combs, Kane Brown, people like that. But the amount of people listening to songs that are considered country compared to back in the days where it was like, you remember like music was kind of segregated. Like if you listen to like alternative rock, or you were like a skater or a rocker, you were like your group. Right. Now, or like if you listen to like hip hop, R&B, that was like your like people, like and people didn't really mingle. Sure. Now, you might see somebody who's at a hip hop club getting down to Glorilla and Yo Gotti, Moneybag Yo, and you might see them on a Thursday or Friday at Joyland getting down to the country music.
I mean, maybe.
It's just the way.
I don't know who a bag of Yo is, but that's fine.
You don't know Boss Man D-Lo?
Nah.
Oh man.
I know who D'Lo Brown is.
I know
the
D'Lo
Wrestler
Brown.
Nation and Domination. That's what I know.
Farouk?
Farouk the Rock? Yeah. Well, and country today is not country as it was in the 90s. It just isn't. I'm sorry. People will get offended. Morgan Wallen's this, and Luke Combs that. And da-da-da-da-da. Nope, not the same. Not the same. One of these things is not like the other, kiddo. Now, I think country has evolved and it's more mainstream now.
Oh, it is. I mean,
but it started that
the amount of people listen to Morgan Wallen.
It started that ascent in the 90s when Garth Brooks had that crossover episode, or had that concert that they showed on ABC, and it was big freaking event. Nobody knew who the fuck it was. And then Shania Twain came out and did all that. And
Tim McGraw as well. He had some songs with Nelly and different things like that. I think they kind of introduced. I'm just gonna be real though.
Every time I think of that song, this video keeps showing up on my social media timeline.
But that all
where
in my head.
Nelly's talking about my era of hip hop was the hardest era in hip hop ever, and they instantly switched to all in my head.
That's hilarious.
I was like, what the hell? God damn it.
And I don't know if it was the hardest, but Nelly.
All in my head.
I don't think nobody was really ever scared of Nelly, but I think about it over and over again. Ain't nobody fearing no it's getting hot in her. Sorry, Nelly.
Must be the money.
You a step above Chingy, my guy. Oh. You're about as gangster as Chingy.
Not Chingy.
Hey,
at the Holiday Inn.
Just enjoy Ashanti and be a good baby daddy.
Is that who he's nailing?
Yeah,
is Ashanti?
I believe they got a kid on the way. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen somewhere. Yep.
Damn it.
He got lucky.
I need to start spending more time at these hip hop shows and find myself a little
Ashanti,
Carmel loving. Why not? I'm about that. Let's go.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
That's it. But I gotta go. I gotta go to Aquapalooza. I gotta sing. That's right. Your boy's headlining today.
What time are you going on?
I go on at 2.
2 o'clock.
2 to 4.
If you can be down to City Island between 2 and 4, if you guys don't know, that's down there by Moat Marine.
Yep, on that road.
Down there by the big radio antenna, where all the sailboats be posted up at. New Pass Bait Shop, all that good stuff. Stop there. Hey, stop there and get you a burger or a sub before they ain't going out of business. They slang too much bait. But anyways, down there, Old Salty Dog, right there, City Island. It's Aquapalooza. Break out your kayaks, your canoes, your John boat.
People have already been sending me
dinghy.
pictures saying that motherfuckers have been camped out there and they've started anchoring already.
If you got an big ass inflatable swan, one of them little like Shamu joints, hop on that bitch and go listen to some good music. I wonder if I could
jump in the water without it screwing with my reception.
It might.
Yeah, I may get electrocuted. Oh, yeah, with my damn microphone. Freaking jumping in an inner tube.
Hey, you gonna come in next week like your boy from The Great Outdoors?
Weird.
How many times you been struck by lightning? 6 times? 66 times? Love me some Great Outdoors.
It's a great movie. Shout out to John Candy.
But yeah, if y'all get a chance, go out there. And also tonight, for everybody who into motorcycle stuff, I know you brought up Williams a little bit earlier. University Parkway, Applebee's, right there on Lockwood, right by Joyland. There's going to be a motorcycle awareness event.
Really?
From 5 to 9. The commissioner, I believe, from Bradenton's going to be there. There's a live band going to be there. Stunt riding, different things like that. So y'all go check that out, and it's absolutely free.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
So y'all go check that out.
I know.
Bam. Now y'all know what fun shit to do. Any final shout-outs?
Yeah, shout out to your mama. I mean, maybe not your mama, but
Hey.
shout out to the moms out there.
My mom's pretty cool, so I'll give her a shout-out. Shout out to all the moms out there. Shout out to everybody.
All
no
the
matter
single moms.
what you do, be safe. Drive safe. The crazies are out. I'm your boy High Cee, for my boy Johnny Christ. Peace out.
Too sweet.